Hey, we are back. This is Metal in Miniatures, the podcast with Josh and John. Josh is back here at my house. How you doing?
Good.
I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad to be back.
Good. So, anything that you want to, talk about, report today?
I watched movies. That's about it.
We decided that our topic was going to be Netflix this time round, and we just we couldn't really narrow it down very well. What about Netflix? Best, worst shows, movies?
We wanted to do nice hidden gems, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of crappy movies on there too that are worth talking about.
Yeah, there's some really good shitty movies on Netflix that everyone should know about. So we're gonna go through and just list basically what we've watched in the last month, or some of the things we've watched in this last month. Some of them are shitty movies, some of them are good movies, but all of them are movies.
And my taste is probably better than yours as an overall factor before we get started.
Okay. We should let everyone know that there's going to be spoilers. So if you're planning on watching these movies,
If you're planning on watching Over the Top of Sylvester Stallone from the 80s,
Or Into
you
the
might want to
Light
wait.
Ronald Weasley, I don't know what the actor's name is. Anyway, so we'll get started here. I'll start out.
Okay.
The first movie that I watched was called Into the White. It's a World War II movie about a British bomber crew and then a German bomber crew, kind of over Norway, having this air battle. Both the planes crashed. The two groups kind of meet in this abandoned cabin, and they have to survive together, these two enemies. And so they're trying to decide, who's going to be who's prisoner and all that kind of stuff.
Very intrigued.
No, you're not.
I'm lying because I think that war movies are boring. Not that war's not always.
War's fun.
Well, yeah, yeah, right. I mean, it's
Awful.
no, and I guess that's the thing is that I should find them, not necessarily boring, but not fun to watch because war shouldn't be fun to watch, but mainly because I find them boring.
You almost took that a whole different direction. Well, this movie is actually pretty good. Out of all the movies I watched, I thought this one was pretty decent. Like I said, it has the actor Harry Potter's best friend, Ronald Weasley.
Because they couldn't get
Hold
Harry
on,
Potter.
Let me look it up.
They couldn't get Harry Potter. So.
It's Rupert Grint. That's who it is.
Okay.
And he's in the movie. You know what? I really suck with actors and actresses, so I don't even know if any of these other ones are that famous. But Rupert Grint is one of the actors that I knew on it, and it was pretty good.
Do you know what else listed as what else he was in?
What?
Do you know, you don't know what other movies, even if you haven't heard of them?
Harry Potter?
No. Ralphie, or Rupert, whatever his name is. Harry's best friend. What else is he? You don't know what else he's in?
No, well, I said Harry Potter.
Oh, well, I know. Well, everybody knows that. Is there any other?
That's basically what everyone else knows. That's usually where my intelligence.
Well, what I wanted to do is say that I probably did watch one of his other movies, but if you don't know, that's okay.
Well, this one is pretty good. It has that war flavor to it, that history flavor to it, and I think it was a decent watch. Definitely worth 2 hours there on Netflix.
Okay.
And I'm not a big movie guy, and so if I'm willing to waste 2 hours on a movie,
that might be one to do
obviously
it on.
it's a good movie.
If it's worth your time, it's worth everybody's time.
Exactly.
Okay, so
what do you got?
I watched. I mean, this movie just blew me away. I mean, it's got everything. Goon is the movie. It has Sean William Scott, and I mean, he's a hockey player, which everybody doesn't know this, but John here really likes hockey, so everything would point to that he'd love this movie. And he's basically like this outcast that loves hockey, but he's not very smart. Outcast by his family and friends, and then finally he beats up a guy at a hockey game. I almost said hockey match. You were gonna just get pissed at me for saying at a hockey match.
Jump over this table.
But then he beats this guy up, and they see that he can beat up people, and he can play hockey because he can beat up people. It's good. I'm not selling it here, but it's really good.
You aren't selling it, and that's because it's not.
It's because I can see that look in your face when I'm explaining it.
You asked me to watch this movie and to give it a chance, and
Right.
I was really reluctant. right? I said, I'm not gonna watch it. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. And I had the worst attitude about the movie.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
But then I had a change of heart, and I decided, okay, I guess I'll try watching it tonight. And I did, and it sucked. It was awful. I hated it.
But I mean, can you really name like 10 reasons why it sucks?
Not on this podcast. That will be a whole. But yeah, I probably could name 10 reasons why it sucks.
Well, I
But
think.
don't let me steal your thunder. Keep talking about Goon and how amazing it is.
Well, and now that I had described it, I'm on here looking at the description online, and it basically says that he's a semi-pro hockey glory, and he makes his way beating the crap out of everything that stands in his way.
This is a classic movie of someone walking into a sport that has no idea how to play it, and then becomes a professional at it within a week.
Who
It is the biggest pile of bullshit.
Who wouldn't want to watch a movie where he gets into fights fights in the hockey
Words are hard.
rink, and it's in slow motion. We see teeth coming out, and then he's beating up people, and it gets you excited. You're like, you know what? I could play hockey if I was good at beating people up.
See, this movie's an insult.
You know what it is? I'd say, you know what it is?
It's an insult to everyone
Anybody,
who's played hockey.
and for your case specifically, is you don't like it because it doesn't properly show how hockey is played or how it should be portrayed. Right?
You could be right.
I know. I think that's what it is. But this movie, in my opinion, shows that Sean William Scott can act. Opposed from a lot of his other films. He's not just Stifler from American Pie movies. He can act.
Never seen that one either.
Anyway. Oh.
All right. Well, Goon. Okay, so Goon gets the thumbs up from you.
Oh, two thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, and me. It gets a big pile of shit from me.
And when things get a pile of shit from you, it's better in my book.
Okay. there you have it. Okay. My second movie.
Okay.
It's called The Ghost and the Darkness. It's a movie from 1996.
All right.
It's based on a true story. Just before 1900, they're building a railroad down in Africa, and these 2 lions go and they kill everybody who's building the railroad.
I totally thought this was a cartoon that you were going to be explaining. I don't know why.
Sounds like it's an anime.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it has Michael Douglas and Val Kilmer in it. So, I mean, there's big names there,
Some
right?
Big names with not very good movies, but...
Well, this one's not very good.
Okay.
This one's awful. I think I fell asleep in this movie twice.
Really?
So...
The fact that you kept trucking on is really commendable.
Well, I just wanted to report on how shitty it was.
Okay.
So, The Ghost in the Darkness, about 2 lions killing everyone, building this African railroad, and Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas are trying to hunt down these lions and trick them and about to catch them and stuff like that. There's really not a whole lot to say other than it's kind of like Jaws, but with 2 lions, and it's a really bad movie instead of being a half decent movie.
Oh, I kind of got scared for a minute that you were going to say it was like Jaws, because Jaws is a great movie.
Don't assume.
Yeah, even hearing the description, you sound good anyways. You can usually make really bad stuff sound good, but that was boring. That description is boring.
I won't put you to sleep.
A little bit.
I mean, I guess the saving grace with this movie is that it's based on a true story, apparently. So that's kind of interesting. I'd be interested in listening to a documentary, or watching a documentary about something like this. But
yeah.
But I mean, it was just awful.
Yeah. You put Michael Douglas and Val Kilmer. I guess they did some okay stuff, but it's a recipe for disaster.
All right, well, that's my second one.
Okay, well.
The Ghost in the Darkness.
All right, I'll not watch that one. Yeah. But as people, they want to check it out, they could have a good old time with a shitty movie.
How much time do you spend on Netflix a week? Do you think?
A lot.
You think... Do you have like regular TV or like satellite or whatever at your house?
I pretty much have Netflix and Hulu on occasion. That's pretty much mine.
So you don't purchase cable or anything?
Nope, no cable.
Okay.
We have a antenna box that sometimes gets channel 13. Most of the time not. So yeah, Netflix. If I'm watching movies or watching TV, it'll be mostly Netflix.
Okay. And you think you spend a lot of time on
Yeah, I'd say a pretty good portion.
Too much time?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Do you watch a lot of movies? Like when you watch Netflix or Hulu,
Um,
is a lot of your
honestly,
viewing time devoted to movies, or is it shows or something like that?
honestly, as of lately, it's mainly shows.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, I'll watch movies here and there, like the few that we've talked about, but it's mainly TV shows.
We're the same way here at my house. It's Hulu or Netflix
Yeah.
if it's gonna be TV, right? And I hate watching movies. I just can't devote that much time to a movie, even if it's good.
Yeah.
I start getting restless, and that might be.
I think it's
my ADHD or whatever.
Well, that and the day and age where we need entertainment, fast. Like we need to be doing something, looking up social media or something, and you can't sit there and.
For me, I just think that it just like the movies are taking too long to tell the story, so maybe it has something to do with that.
Well, I mean,
need the here and now.
Well, yeah, because like you think about looking at YouTube and stuff, it's because it's maybe a 2 or 3 minute clip, and you can move on to 100 other videos.
Unless you're listening to this YouTube video, then it's 30 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's true, but it's worth it because it's on YouTube. But but yeah, it's mainly shows, and that's just because I also get really bored. I used to watch tons and tons of movies, but it's mainly shows.
It doesn't help their case, considering that most of the movies on there are crappy movies.
That's true. That's why there's some. There really are some hidden gems on there that that I have seen even in the past, but.
Right. Goon's not one of them, though.
No,
and neither is The Ghost in the Dark.
Well, because it's not really hidden because you can see it on the front page. So it's not really a hidden gem, it's just a gem. Anyway.
Just because you recently watched it still time you open up Netflix does not mean it's on everyone else's front page.
That's true.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. No, that's fine because that's totally true. But back to movies, the movies that I did see. The next one is Crybaby. And that one,
I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly enough, it's a Johnny Depp movie from I think like the 80s. No, 1990. Yeah, 1990. That's a weird movie.
That's it.
Yeah, I watched it.
What's it about?
Oh man, I couldn't even give you like a synopsis of it. It's weird. All I really remember it from it mainly is his girlfriend or soon to be girlfriend like has a vial of his tears or her tears because he cries a lot.
What are you talking about?
Synopsis. Oh, and that's about it. I mean, he cries at different situations that one single tear rolls down his cheek, and that's about it. Set in the 50s. Yep, made in the 90s, and it was an early Johnny Depp movie, and
wow.
Yeah,
Was it good?
You know what? It was yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
You can't remember
I can't
the
even
movie.
explain it, and I just even I don't know the synopsis. I've actually watched it twice. And I still don't know what it's about.
That's sad. I feel sad for you.
That's my recommendation. Everybody should go watch it, so they know what the hell I'm talking about.
Okay, my next one is a documentary.
All right.
I love documentaries. I love them.
Me too.
Those are movies I can watch.
Yeah, I watch those all the time.
Mostly because they're only 45 minutes long.
Yeah, that's true. They're shorter.
And I watch a lot of documentaries, so I just picked out this one to talk about.
Okay.
Bronies. What do you want to say before I go?
I have too seen this documentary. Honestly, it was my idea for us to watch this documentary.
Yeah, we watched it together.
We did watch it together. We watched Bronies together. But there was. Do you know why I wanted to watch it together?
Yeah, but not everyone who's listening does.
Well, you love My Little Pony.
Yeah, I do love My Little Pony.
In an unhealthy way.
No, okay.
Completely unhealthy way.
No, that's wrong. Okay, so I have 2 children. Both of them are girls. One of them loves My Little Pony, and I happened to start watching My Little Pony with her, and I just started to say, you know what, this is actually a pretty good show. And you will learn, sir, that has a baby now, that when you're watching a TV show with your child, You get really sick of Dora the Explorer pretty fast, or whoever the hell's on the TV. But
You're
My
right.
Little Ponies, I never get sick of.
You're right. So ponies are much better to watch.
Yes, good. I'm glad we agreed. But My Little Pony or Bronies, the documentary, is about the fans of My Little Pony. At first, I was worried about watching this because I thought they were just going to give them the cray cray treatment. If you've seen the Star Wars fans or whatever documentary,
yeah,
I know Star Wars fans. You're a Star Wars fan.
Ah, yeah,
I'm a Star
big
Wars
time
fan.
Star Wars fan.
And man, they just beat the shit out of those guys on the documentary. It makes every single person who likes Star Wars look like a complete and utter loser.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you wouldn't want adult people watching My Little Pony to look like losers. Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
So, but I think they did a good job on the Bronies documentary. It showed like the weirdness, how some people are into it and odd.
Yeah.
Because I think that it takes kind of an odd mind to enjoy the show when they're an adult.
That's true.
But I also liked how it was trying to promote, what the show's writer and founder and the people who have kind of pushed this movement, this brony movement along, like what they're trying to show, this idea of acceptance and friendship and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
super corny.
After watching it, I do have to say that I was surprised how careful they were not making fun of people who are bronies.
Yeah, and there were plenty of people that they could have made fun of the way that Star Wars.
That's true.
I don't think Star Wars, the Star Wars document, I don't think they actually made fun of people, but it was just in the light that they presented them, it was just pretty awful.
They just make it seem like, extreme Star Wars fans are just kind of crazy.
And
which,
they might be.
I mean, they may be.
But the average Star Wars fan is
not. That's true.
At least feeling like I'm an average Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think that I carry a lightsaber around and want to name my kid Jar Jar Binks.
That would be awesome. Well, except for the Jar Jar Binks part, but I mean Chewbacca, obviously.
So Brony's documentary, I liked it. I thought it was a good. As far as documentaries go, I thought it was good because the whole Brony movement is kind of weird. It's odd,
I can't take you seriously when you say Brony movement.
What the hell am I supposed to call it? Like the Brony comeuppance?
No, you're totally right.
The popularity of My Little Pony, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
You're totally right. And like I said, after seeing it, I do agree. But
it does sound ridiculous.
But I had a hard time keeping a straight face.
Yeah,
but it definitely leaves up to the imagination to decide how weird you think they are.
I think it's, as far as documentaries go, it's good. I think that it is, as documentaries should be, educational.
Yeah,
to the topic that it's presenting.
That's true.
So if anyone's interested or weirded out about My Little Pony and the fandom of My Little Pony, it's worth your hour and a half or whatever.
Yeah, I would say it is because there's a person who likes My Little Pony. You enjoyed it, and a person who I just thought it was kind of funny, like as far as the My Little Pony craze, and I liked it. So overall, that was a good one.
Okay. The saying the Brony movement is utterly ridiculous. I just didn't know how else to say it.
I let you say it 3 times with a straight face with me, and then I couldn't help it.
We're cutting it off right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go. Next one.
So next one is Bernie.
I saw this one too.
Yeah. This one I was a little skeptical. I just kind of thought it was strange, but it has Jack Black, and he's still funny in it, but he plays like a dramatic role. I mean, so that's what intrigued me, and I'm pulling up stuff here online too to try to explain it because it is a little bit odd to even try to explain that one too. But he's a mortician, which this movie has one of the best opening scenes.
I don't remember.
Yeah, teaching a class, but it really doesn't show anything yet. But he's like has a dead body sitting in front of him, and he's like cutting into it, and he has this kind of weird smile on his face, and it's I don't know if there's kind of like interesting music, I think, playing in the background or whatever, and it kind of makes it really artsy, but he's cutting into a dead body. I don't know. I'm just all over that kind of dark stuff. So, and then he befriends this wealthy widow, but she is just crazy. I mean, she's mean to everybody thinks she's mean.
Who played that part? What's her face?
The widow?
Yeah. Yeah, the widow.
Was it Shirley MacLaine? Was that who played her? Was she? I know she's in it, but I think it was Shirley MacLaine. Matthew McConaughey was in it too, and he's great.
Yeah, he was the sheriff.
Yeah,
or something like
and
that.
He's really great in it. But yeah, he befriends her, and he ends up going crazy and killing her. I mean, and
Yeah.
he's like the nicest guy in the movie, and he kills her, and he hides it for a really long time, like stuffs her in a freezer or something like that. But
This is based off of true story too.
yeah, this is a true story. It's like small town Texas, and
Yeah.
he showed a little bit at the end of the real guy in prison talking, and Jack Black portrays him awesome. I mean, he does a great job.
I think they took some of the townsfolk and they're actually in the movie as
Yeah.
actors. Like
Yeah.
they interview them as part of
Yeah.
like the movie.
Yeah.
Like you see them doing interviews and
Yeah,
stuff. And
the
then
whole
the
thing.
actual townsfolk acting as themselves.
Yeah, the whole thing is like interview type, but yeah, that's a really good,
Really good movie.
yeah, hidden gem movie. So we both agree on that one, and yeah, I would definitely watch it.
Yeah. Bernie was a way good one. That one sat in my queue for a long time, and finally I just decided to pull up one and I watched it, and it was really good.
Yeah,
So,
worth it. Good payoff.
okay. So the last movie I'm going to talk about is Into the Wild. It's made in 2007. I don't know any of these actors' names. Emil Hirsch.
Yeah, I've heard of that person.
Okay, well, there you go. I think that's the main character, Emil Hirsch. It's a movie about a kid who right out of college decides that he wants to kind of get away from it all, and he just kind of takes a road trip, not really a road trip, but like hitchhikes and everything. Goes from I think he started in the East Coast and he goes all the way to Alaska. And he just decides to live in Alaska by himself and be a hermit. And it is incredibly interesting. This guy, I think he graduated from a really prestigious university. His parents were rich. Anyway, and it's just kind of his, forgetting all of his, the silver spoon in his mouth and everything, and just kind of going and living on his own and trying to get away from civilization. And it's just his story of all the people he meets along the way, and then his story of when he ends up in Alaska and just starts living on his own. Really, really good movie. It's a slow drama though. It feels very slow.
Yeah.
But I like dramas, and so
I
I really
agree.
like this movie.
I did see this one too, and overall I liked it, but yeah, it is definitely really slow.
Oh, Vince Vaughn is in the movie too.
Yeah, oh yeah, actually I do remember that. And Vince Vaughn is awesome. It was slow, but if you just keep thinking about, I don't know, just the overall premise is good. That he's just getting away from civilization.
It makes you, the movie kind of makes you think.
Yeah.
It's at least it made me think, because I was thinking, well, this is good that this kid's just trying to go out and trying to find himself. But at the same time, I kept thinking to myself, doing anything is not contributing to anything, so is it really that great?
Yeah.
So it was kind of a philosophical thing for me to kind of watch.
It was actually that I remember you posing that question, because after I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, he's getting on the wild, whatever he wants to do. And then you pose that question of, is he doing anything for society? And I was like, well, no. I mean, he has that college education, and he has the means to
he's
build
an
life.
extremely intelligent person.
Yeah.
And you get that throughout the whole movie, how smart he is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anyways.
And that one, I mean, the ending. Well, spoiler alerts for everything. I mean, the ending is,
No, don't do it.
Don't do it?
Yeah, don't do it.
I want to though. I want to. The ending, I know, without saying
don't spoil
anything. For some people, it could just be
Eh.
abrupt and just kind of But then again,
anticlimactic.
but it's based on his journey. So
yeah, okay.
whatever.
Yeah, the end could be disappointing. I agree with that.
That one was pretty good though.
Yeah, so that's basically
my last one. I saved the best for last.
Did you?
Yeah, and that one is Over the Top. And I know a lot of people have probably seen this because it came out in 1987. It has Sylvester Stallone, and all you need to know really is it's about arm wrestling competitions.
Oh my God, what? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, you have the surrounding story of he's a dad and he finds his kid, and his kid
Cares about all that
cares
junk.
about
This guy arm
he
wrestles.
arm wrestles, and he goes to arm wrestling competitions, and when is ready to turn on the heat, he flips his hat backwards.
Wow.
And wins usually.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. You know
I'm
what
not.
though?
That was a lie.
No, you are impressed. I
not.
don't even know if he won the whole thing though or not. It was a good movie though. I watched it
Big surprise, you can't remember the movie.
I watched it like every day when it came out on Netflix.
So,
There's all that is to that.
what was
one.
it called?
Over the Top.
That sounds completely uninteresting to me.
Oh, well, then you haven't lived, my friend.
Sylvester Stallone doesn't interest me.
Really? Have you seen Rambo or Rocky movies?
Yeah, those happened a while ago.
Yes, they did.
Over the Top.
Yeah, same with Over the Top.
What about the new Rocky movie?
I haven't seen it. But the new
Wait,
Rambo,
what?
but the new Rambo movie was pretty good.
arm wrestling is such a niche thing, right? Like
Yeah.
that doesn't interest me at all.
Yeah, me neither until I saw this. But
Sylvester Stallone playing another, I'm assuming, dummy.
badass.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Same thing.
Okay.
A dummy badass. But instead of boxing, he arm wrestles. Seems
Yeah.
like we've already had that. How many Rockies were there? 7?
How many arm wrestling movies are there? One, and it's over the
Probably
top.
for a good reason. There's
I don't know.
only one.
It's probably because I watched it when I was like 7, and I was like,
Oh,
oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was my last one.
All right. We actually watched a lot of other movies. These were the 8 that we just decided we wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the ones that I wanted to watch, or that I did watch, were documentaries. And obviously, it's not going to be so fun if I just talk about documentaries the whole time. We also could have talked about Robinson Crusoe. We watched that together.
Yeah.
That was completely awful.
That was terrible.
You wanted to talk about Troll 2.
Yeah, it's not on
Troll 2
Netflix anymore.
It's
so
off of Netflix.
I don't want to get everybody all excited about it and they wouldn't be able to go see it. But Troll 2 is just, it's so bad that it's awesome.
That's not true.
It's absolutely true. It's just so terrible that the trolls aren't even trolls. They're like, well, I don't even know what they are, but they aren't trolls. And it's awesome. There's a lot of green goo, blood, and terrible acting, and I love it.
Terrible acting.
Yeah.
That is one thing that you like in movies. Terrible acting. That's why you like the campy horror flicks. Because you like shitty acting.
No, I think the other campy horror movies I like, some of them have really bad acting, but it's just so over the top. I mean,
shitty acting.
That's the only thing I can say.
I agree with you. Shitty acting. Well, anything else you want to talk about?
I mean,
Netflix?
There's tons of good stuff on there, but we don't really have time to talk about it.
I mean, you could waste your time.
I want to make a
Netflix.
shout out to Freaks and Geeks.
I want to make a shout out to Oddities.
That's a good one.
From the Science Channel.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The first one, the one in New York.
Yeah, not San Francisco.
Not the San Francisco one.
Yep.
We love Netflix. We spend too much time on it.
Yep, as most people do.
And so we're trying to get everyone away from Netflix and onto YouTube for a little bit longer.
Yep.
By making this, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that's all we have for this time. So, Josh, why don't you say goodbye?
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.